some high resolution images in magazines look good, but they're still not as bright as RGB, right? Because graphic designers will constantly be dealing with what they call an additive and subtractive color system. Printing, anything that has toner or ink or paint, is a subtractive color system. What happens, light hits this substrate, and the orange-red part of the light spectrum bounces off of this to your eye. Everything else is subtracted out. It has a tendency to get muddy or dark, okay? And I didn't feel like this seemed a little too dark, too muddy to me. So we lightened it up, but as you can see, we lightened it up too much. So this almost looks like there's something wrong with the printer, right? So then we went back. Now what this is she actually created 2 or 3 layers of white and changed the opacity to make it look like fog. It really pops on the screen. It's just hard to reproduce that in print. Okay? All right, so this was our first original attempt, this is our second attempt, and this is our third attempt. And as you can see, how much it changed. And I think this gives a better feel for the design than this did, because this looked too muddy or too dark. All right? This was too far the other way. All right? Another thing I like that she did is she added a texture to the word night there. It's like almost a grainy, sandy look. And if you want to know how to do that, I can show that to you. Okay? All right? That's just a technique. But she is working, have been working in Photoshop for 3 or 4 years now. All right? Now, if you went to work for a company, like a comic book company, which they've kind of fallen on hard times if you don't know this, that a lot of copies, the distributor for comic books has actually gone out of business, and there was a lot of comic book companies that went out of business because they couldn't distribute the product. There's a monopoly on distributing comic books. There's one company distributing comic books, and it went out of business. All right? But a professional colorer for a comic book company, you see these pages? They could probably crank out fully colored 15, 20 pages an hour. All right? And that's cooking. Because they might be scheduled to print or get to their publisher 100, 115 pages a day, fully colored and ready to go. All right? So that's just to show you the level of professional skill needed to go. That's knowing every shortcut. That's doing something, hundreds if not thousands of times. The artist that did that Iron Man right there, I met him at the gallery where he was selling that. And it was funny, a guy walked up and he had been doing Iron Man for 10 years. And the guy goes, man, you must really love Iron Man. He goes, man, I can't stand Iron Man, but I like the paycheck. All right? But imagine having to draw and color the same character for 10 straight years, day after day after day. Now, the stories might change, but the drawing technique's the same day after day after day. And that's a professional. You got to crank it out, okay, to make a living. Okay? So understand, that's why I'm giving you roughly a week and a half, 2 weeks to work on this, so you can get comfortable dealing with the Photoshop tools. Okay? All right? All right, we good on the video. You can turn